Hello students, welcome you once again to my class. This is the class for standard 10 and I've already uploaded part 1 of this chapter. The name of the chapter, A Letter to God. So just a small recap of what we have learned in the previous part. The main character or the protagonist of the story is Lencho, a farmer. He has his children and family, and they all lived in a house that is situated at the top of a high hill in a valley. He has a paddy field, and uh, the corn was about to be harvested, and the field needed just a single rain. And on a particular day, he was looking at the sky in the northeast direction, and he was hopeful because there was a huge cloud approaching from that direction. So as he was predicting, the rain started, but the situation changed as the rain converted into hailstones. Now with the hailstone there was a strong wind started to blow, and that destroyed his entire crop, and he was hopeless at the end of the part 1. Now this is part 2 of the same story. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, now solitary means single, only one house in the middle of the valley, that there was a help from God. So saying that in the hearts of all, in the hearts of all the family members who lived in that single or the only one house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, and that hope is help from God. Now, don't be upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. Now, Lencho is trying to console his family. Lencho is trying to make them feel easy by saying these words. He's saying that don't be upset, don't be sad, even though this seems to be a complete loss for us, for everyone. But remember, it is a famous saying that no one dies of hunger. So it is actually the truth that no one dies of hunger. Means you may have heard that reports in newspaper, or you may have watched the news on television that many people died of hunger. Actually, this is not the case. Means actually the fact is that no one dies of hunger. Yes, there may be a situation of malnutrition, but again no one dies of hunger. So this is the only hope, that hope from God, and as his consoling words that no one dies of hunger. So it's saying that we will also survive this year. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God. So the entire night he was thinking only of his one hope, that the help of God. Now whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, when everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Now, as Lencho has been instructed by other people that God can see everything. Now, God can see even what is in one's conscience. Conscience means what someone is thinking from inside his heart. So, God can also know that thing also. He is thinking from what is inside his heart. So, Lencho was an ox of a man working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to ride. So it's saying that Lencho, because he works very hard in his field, so he's working like an ox, means uh, like animal. Now ox is used to plow the field. So he is compared to an ox, but still he's saying that he knows how to ride. Means he is not a complete illiterate person. So what happens? The following Sunday, means the next Sunday at daybreak, when sun rose, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So the following Sunday, saying that Lencho will write a letter to someone, and he would go to the post office himself and place that letter into the mail box, means that red box outside the post office. And the letter, it was nothing less than a letter to God. So the letter would be nothing less than a letter to God, means he will be writing a letter to God. So God he wrote. The next Sunday he wrote, God, salutation. He wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So that's what he started the letter like this, that if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. This year means this entire year. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crop comes, because the hailstorm, dot dot dot. So he wrote something else after hailstorm. So he started writing the letter like this, that he's asking direct help, direct financial help from God. So how much money he's asking? He's saying that I need 100 pesos. Now pesos is the currency of several Latin American countries. Now, what do you mean by Latin America? The Latin America here means those parts of America, means including North and South America. That's why Americas, those parts of Americas which speak Spanish or Portuguese, and which are Latin derived language. These Spanish and Portuguese are Latin derived language. Now what is Latin? Latin is actually language spoken in ancient Rome. So this Latin was spoken in ancient Rome. So he wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled went to town. So he wrote the letter, and on the outer side of the envelope he wrote the address. Now what is the address? To God. Put the letter inside the envelope, and still troubled means still in problem, went to the town where the post office was there. At the post office he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox, that red colored box. So what he did in the post office, he did the formality. What was the formality that time? If you wanted to post a letter through an envelope, that you have to affix a stamp, a government stamp, that will make that letter a valid one. So he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and also helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. So one of the employees of the post office, and who was he? He was a postman. So when he saw that letter, actually when he saw the address on the letter, what was the address? To God. So he started laughing, and he was laughing heartily, means what you call, with all his energy, and still laughing, he went to the boss of the post office. Now who is the boss of the post office? Postmaster. So he went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. So talking about the postman. So never in his career as a postman he had seen that address. What was the address? To God. The postmaster, what kind of a person is? A fat, amiable means friendly, kind, sweet fellow. So that kind of a person is the postmaster, a fat and amiable fellow. Also broke out laughing. So he started laughing too, looking at the address of the letter. But almost immediately, at once, he turned serious. So after laughing, he turned serious at once, and tapping the letter on his desk, putting his fist like this on the letter. He turned serious, means his face turned serious. And he commented, "What faith which had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. He's saying that what a faith. So he's shocked looking at the faith of that man, the trust of the man in God. So he's saying that I wish I had the same faith of the man who wrote this letter. He's saying that had I the same faith as the man who had written the letter. Who is the man referred to here? Lencho. Starting up a conversation between person by means of letters. So starting up a correspondence with God. So this kind of faith Lencho had, that man had in God. So he started up a conversation through letter, that is correspondence with God. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, here shake means lose. So the postmaster, he was a kind person. So in order not to lose the writer's faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. So the postmaster now came up with an idea. What is the idea? Answer the letter. So he wanted to answer the letter in order not to shake the faith of the man, the faith of the writer to God. So in other words, that he wanted to keep his faith intact in God. That's why he wanted to reply that letter. Now what will happen if he replies the letter? The man will think that the reply came from God. That's why his faith will remain intact. But when he opened it, it was evident that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. But when the postmaster opened the letter from inside the envelope, now he saw what was written in it. And that's when he realized that in order to reply the letter, he not only needed goodwill, ink and paper, but something else. Now what was it? Something else? The money that Lencho asked from God. How much? 100 pesos. So he needed some money also to answer the letter. But he stuck to his resolution, remained loyal or firm to his resolution. Means what he had determined. So he remained firm to his resolution, means to his determination, what he had decided. But he had decided to reply the letter. So he asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. So what he did, the postmaster, he asked for money from his employees. Ask means ask their contribution, okay, for money in order to reply the letter, to do an act of charity. So he himself gave part of his salary. So some part of his salary the postmaster himself donated, and several friends of his were obliged to do someone a service or favor. So in order to favor that person, that writer who had written the letter, other friends also, they were also obliged to give something for an act of charity. Charity, money or goods given up to someone in need. It was impossible for him to gather together 100 pesos, so he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. So it was not possible for the postmaster to collect the entire amount, 100 pesos. So he collected something more than half. Now half is 50 pesos. So he has collected something more than half, a little more than half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho. So he put the money inside an envelope, and on the outer side of the envelope he wrote the address to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single letter as a signature, God. So inside he not only put the money, but he also put a letter, and on that letter he wrote nothing, just he put the signature of God, that God has sent the letter. So that's it, students. This is part 2. We'll continue with the same story and I will wind up in part 3. Bye.